Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to today's reading. I'd like to say thank you to those of you that continue to be a supportive part on this journey with me. And if you're new, welcome. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. I do things differently on this channel. Just know that there may be triggering energy that does come through. There's no obligation to force it to fit. However, triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If the messages do resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And with that being said, today's message was, this is the hardest thing that you've had to do. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that, and we're going to find out what's coming through. I'm going to be using my Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer today. So, Source, what would you like to share with us today? This is the hardest thing that they've had to do. What Oracle card will help us better understand this message? Thank you. Okay, on the bottom, we have dance, celebration. You know, and this feels like this is saying, like, it's okay for you to celebrate. Like, you've had a hard time. You've had to go through it. And you're not alone. In this card, it looks like she's alone, celebrating all by herself. But we don't see the rest of the tribe that's outside of the frame. There are actually a lot of people who are celebrating with you. There are a lot of spirits and guides and angels that are celebrating and lifting you up and wanting to see you do well. I do feel like you've been really struggling recently, and that there's been a lot of low energy that's been coming through, and maybe even depression, or maybe even just having a hard time taking care of yourself. It's like not wanting to do anything. I'm getting this image of wanting to close in on yourself. So it's like, you know, it's like you have this big, huge list of things to do, and you look at the list, you put the list down, and you just go and maybe sit on the couch and curl up in a blanket and just like, I don't want to do anything. And this is that energy where Source is saying, like, it's okay. You don't have to be on point 1,000% of the time. You're going to have those moments where you are going to draw back, and that's okay. Celebrate even the hard moments. Because when you celebrate the hard moments, it's a reminder that we all experience this human experience, right? We all have ups and downs. You're not alone. And our downs oftentimes come with wisdom and knowledge that give us strength to approach whatever challenges come next in our lives. And so celebrating how far you've come and where you are today will help ease the burden, is what I'm getting. So Source, this is the hardest thing they've had to do. What would you like to share with us today? This is the hardest thing that they've had to do. And we've got the 6th house. Yeah, mental well-being here. Gemini and Neptune. Letting go of the past. You know, the energy that's coming in, it's like I'm hopelessly hopeless. That's what it feels like. It's like you've had hope in something or someone for a long time, or a belief or a prayer. You've had hope in this. It's like more than just faith. Like, this is like, I'm hoping that it's going to come together. I'm hoping that it's going to turn out the way that I want it to. I'm hoping that everything goes how I expect it to go. And it's been a long time. And you've been holding on to that hope for so long that now you look at it and you're starting to see it differently. And letting go of this thing, it feels like you're letting go of an identity that has become you and that you have become. And there's a lot of fear that's coming up with that. And there's a lot of guilt in letting this go. But there's also this essence of honesty that's arising right now where I'm saying, I'm being honest with myself. Is this really truly something that I should put my life on hold for? That I should just sit back and pray and hope that it comes to fruition? Because if it's been this long, right? And it could be anything. This could be a person. This could be someone changing. This could be a manifestation that you've asked for. There's like, it's almost like you've put your entire life on hold for this wish. And I'm not moving forward until I get my wish. And it's you not moving forward, which has created this poverty of feeling in your life. And it's not your fault, because you wanted it so badly, and that's very human of us to want something so badly and to just give up everything else and to hope for this one thing. But I do feel like there's this switch where now you're being very honest with yourself about this, and it's also been affecting your mental health. It's been affecting your worth. It's been affecting your value and how you see yourself. And you've had to step back and really take a look at this. And you could have been really sick or been dealing with a lot of body aches and pains recently. Migraines is coming in, and I'm also getting low back pain, knee pain, ankle, and toes. Okay, these are really specific coming in, but that's what's coming through. Also, elbow is coming through, especially the left elbow is coming through. And stuffy nose, like not being able to breathe. And as you're being honest with yourself, you're starting to realize that you're letting go. And letting go of that has been helping to free your body. And so there's periods when you're not feeling those pains that seem to persist. And then they come back and you begin to open up and like look at yourself and allow it to be. And it's this allowing that's actually, it's helping you to move through this. And I feel like this is just really hard. Like anytime that we have to let go of something that we've hoped for so long, it's really hard. It's just a challenge. Because we had an idea that this was going to be a part of our lives, you know, whether that was a person, a relationship, a family member, or a thing. We had this idea that it was going to be a part of our lives and that we had already imagined it in its totality. And that became the thing that we held on to, was the vision. And yet, as time went by, it's almost like if this was a person, as time goes by and this person has not talked to you in, say, like 10 years, right? It's like 10 years is a long time to go without talking to someone. You no longer know that person. They no longer know you. No matter how connected you are through the spiritual realm, you still don't know each other. Right? You've both experienced so much. You don't know the secrets that they're holding. You don't know the experiences that they've gone through. And the same with you. They don't know that about you. And so it's like being honest with yourself and saying, like, is it worth putting my life on hold for this person who's not making a move, who doesn't make a move when I make a move, and who leaves me on, you know, on a string? Or if it's a position that you've been wanting and they keep giving, like if it's in-house hiring and they say it's in-house hiring, keep applying. You have all the skills that you need to get to that next level and you apply every time it comes up. But every time it comes up, they hire out of house, right? And it's like never ceases to fail. They always hire out of house and they're not giving it to anybody in-house, even though they're saying we're only hiring in-house. And it's like there's something here that's been stringing you along. And that's why it's been so hard, because there's a part of you that has like imagined living with this for so long. Yeah, we've got the Emperor on the bottom in the reverse. This has been very brutal. This has been a very brutal experience. This could be someone who's very manipulative, a narcissist. This could be someone who is just wanting things for their own gain. And giving you a little bit just so that you continue to maintain that hope and give them what they want. Again, this could be a job position that's like that as well. But whatever it is, there's this essence of being incredibly just brutal on you. It's just been like attacking you emotionally and mentally for a long time. And it has been making you feel absolutely drained and stuck. And I feel like there's just this energy where it's like, I've been so used to being treated this way or been so used to experiencing this. How do I let go? And that's the scary thing here. But letting go is where the freedom's at. But you've been protecting this for some reason. Holding out for the change, for the shift. But I don't think that this is going to be the shift for the thing or for the person. The shift is you. It's not them. And that's what I feel like is happening. And that's why this has been the hardest thing, because it's like, well, I have all these beliefs and I have all this, and I really believe the good of everybody. And I really believe things are going to work out. And sometimes, as much as I wish that I could say that this is true, like, we can believe that everything's going to work out for the best, which it usually does. But it rarely ever works out for the best in the way that we imagined or planned it would. It happens in the way that it needs to. And that's oftentimes without the people or the situations that we expected it to be. But sometimes as humans, we just get so stuck on it being one way or the other that we don't want to see that there's actually an infinite amount of possibilities and outcomes, which is true of life. Yeah, this is having to save oneself with the Knight of Swords here. So now, right now, you're learning how to save yourself from something that has held you in a mental prison, that has kept you feeling. I keep getting this energy of like, I don't feel good about this situation. So like, it's not working out for me the way that I thought it would. So say it's a person. And you're saying, like, I can't live my life without this person. But every day that goes by that this person doesn't reach out to you, you like die a little bit inside. You're saying like, oh, I must not be worth their love, or I have to change something about myself, or I have to do this. Like, rather than seeing yourself as lovable in this moment, it's all based on the actions of this person. Or if this is a job, it's like as the days go by and you don't get the position that maybe you were promised, or that you know that you're trying out for and you have all this skill for, and you see other people who are getting it who are less skilled, who have less talents, who have less experience. It's like it makes you feel worse inside and you begin beating yourself up. And there's a point where you reach this precipice and you say, enough. Like, I'm tired of beating myself up because this isn't going the way that I thought it was going to. And, I know we've all heard God's rejection is God's protection, right? Like, that's something that we've all heard. And sometimes we just have to trust that. We have to trust that maybe this isn't working out because it's not supposed to. But we get so attached to the outcome that it's almost nearly impossible at times for us to let go until we recognize that we have to be honest with ourselves and put down the rose-colored glasses and put down the idea that it has to be this way or no way, right? Yeah, okay. So it could have to do with love. Like, I was getting that energy that it had to do with love with a person. But again, it could be any situation, right? This could be work. It's just showing here with the Lovers in the reverse, there's a lot of spiritual defeat, right? And it's being overwhelmed by choices. Like, I'd rather just have it be one thing than to have choices, because having the choices is too overwhelming for me. Knowing that there's possibilities, that's too overwhelming for me. And so it's holding on to this one idea, but it's also showing that it's very much draining you from life, and it's draining you from this sense of empowerment because you've given all your power away to this situation. You don't see a solution. You don't see a resolution to the situation. There is no balance. There is no harmony in this situation. And the 6 also talks about seeing ourselves with eyes of love. So when it's in the reverse here, we see that we're not seeing ourselves from a place of unconditional love, but rather of conditional love, saying, well, once I get this, whatever it is, then I can love myself. But the truth is we must first love ourselves to recognize that we don't need said situation to complete us, because we're already a whole being right now. And so there's definitely this feeling of lack that's coming through, but also the mind is playing havoc on you right now. The thoughts that you're feeling, there's a voice inside, right? Oftentimes it's the emotional ego, but it can also take form of someone who talked to us a certain way when we were young and created some trauma in our lives. But the voice that's in your head is saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not handsome enough. I don't have enough. I'm too poor, or I'm too rigid, or I'm too this, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm that. And it's saying I'm not enough. Overall, the main thing is saying I'm not enough. And that's the illusion that's coming through. And that's why this is the hardest thing that you have to go through. Because the identity that you have developed around the attachment to this thing, the identity that the emotional ego has developed around the attachment to this idea, that's what you're letting go of. And it's grown and grown and grown. The longer that you've waited, it has cemented itself and saying, like, I knew I was right. I knew I was right holding on to this. And I knew that I was right in treating you this way. But eventually, you hear those thoughts so loudly that right now you're truly trying to be honest with yourself. And this is why it's so hard, because it's saying, I cannot hold on to this illusion anymore. Is it truly love? Is what I'm doing truly in the essence of unconditional love? Because that's where we get so twisted sometimes. And that's something that a lot of people continue to push and force onto us. Like, it has to be difficult. It has to be this. It has to be hard. You have to get manipulated by people. And the truth is that when we believe that, we become a product of those environments and we lose our power. People are going to be people. We can't control people, but we can control ourselves. And we can choose how we treat ourselves as well. And that's what I feel like is the hardest thing that's happening right now, is how you treat yourself. It's letting go of a very deeply rooted guilt that has been with you since a childhood trauma has occurred. And it has not been easy. And they want you to celebrate because you've come so far. And also, I feel like the reason for the celebration is just to let go of it being so serious. Right? It's like, of course it's a serious situation. Of course it's deep. Of course all of that is true. But also the opposite is equally true. Like, if I let go of it being so serious, then I can also allow myself to lighten up and have fun. We have Capricorn energy here. Yeah, you've worked really hard on this. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. You've put a lot of time, energy, and effort into this. And that's why it's also scary to let go. Because it feels like, well, I put all this time or waited all this time for this situation to pan out. And now you're just telling me to let go. So basically all that time was for naught. But that's not true. You learned a lot during that time that you were holding on. You have so much experience now. And that's another thing to celebrate, is that experience that you have. I just feel like this is super challenging for you because it just feels like you're losing a part of yourself. And, you know, the egoic death is very much that. We're losing a part of ourselves. We are. We're losing a part of ourselves that we've let have control over us for so long. And so there is a grieving process that comes with that. Mercury, dive into the details. Yeah, right now it's about seeing it for what it is. Seeing it not for the illusion that it's painted this entire time, but seeing it for truly what it is in front of you. And also not seeing it for the illusion that maybe we've painted on it. We're really good at that. We're really good at twisting situations so that it doesn't seem as bad. You know, and that's just us being human. We have Tortoise here. You are too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. You are your home. Wherever you go, you are your home. Right now, you've got yourself in a million different places trying to, whether that's trying to prove your value, your worth, to prove your skills, to prove yourself. There's this essence of wanting to prove yourself. And also holding on to this idea, it's just taking too much of your energy, your effort. I feel like that's why you're so drained right now. Come back home. Get back grounded to yourself. We have Cat, domestic. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependency on others. So this is all about reclaiming your power and your independence, trusting your intuition. And really, really leaning in. Is this my intuition that's talking to me right now? Or is this my ego playing guise of my intuition? Right? Because sometimes the ego is really clever like that. It will try to convince us it's our intuition when in reality, It's not. It talks loud. Indecision. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Source. It says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Indecision. So indecision is what's keeping you stagnant right now. It's like, well, but what if I let go and they come back? Then they come back. Then they come back. Okay, cool. Then you can deal with it then. But rather than sitting in this place of stagnancy and saying like, well, what if I find someone else and then they come back? Well, what if you find someone else and they treat you with the respect, love, and admiration that you deserve? And if that person comes back and they keep breadcrumbing you, are you really going to keep running back to someone that's breadcrumbing you? Are you like, say you let go and you find a position that pays you what you want, gives you the hours that you want, gives you everything, and all of a sudden your old job calls you up and says, hey, I got that position, but it's only like 20 cents more? Even if they paid 10 cents more, or, you know, $10 more an hour, is it worth going back and getting treated the way you were getting treated? Is it worth it? That's why indecision is, it's like you get stuck in this rabbit hole of like, well, but what about this? What about that? What about that? How about we just look at it for what it is? There's you and there's the situation. Are you receiving the love, the loyalty, the respect, the kindness, the compassion that you deserve? And if there's a no in there, then that's when we need to look at it and say, is this really truly in alignment with me? Don Juan, yeah, okay. So again, this could be a person. Spotlights your positive seductive qualities, and the shadow is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So this is definitely someone that is stringing you along. I feel like there's a player here that is stringing you along. They like the fact that you're attracted to them. They like the fact that you're on hold for them. It makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel big. You know what? Get out of here with that. You don't deserve that. And I don't care if this person has a label or not. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. You don't deserve to be, you know, put on hold for someone else that doesn't get, they're not getting their stuff together because they like having too much fun with other people. And you contact them and they give you one little tiny thing. Love is great. Love is amazing. But love isn't enough. There's other things that have to go with love, and we have to remember that. And the same thing with a job, you know, like payment, money isn't enough. There needs to be respect. There needs to be mutual compromise. I mean, we need to stop looking at it like, oh my gosh, like my job, yeah, it's your livelihood, but if they're treating you with disrespect, why are you going to hang around? Because they signed the paycheck? There are plenty of other places out there that'll give you a paycheck that won't treat you that way. And it might not seem like it, but it's true. There are. So it's just opening up to those possibilities. If this is family, you don't have to put up with that. Family's not going to change. That's up to them to change. But it's not up to you to try and force that change. Gemini, change your mind. Wow. Thank you, Source, for that confirmation. Change your mind. It's okay. It's okay to let go of something you thought was going to be a part of your life for forever. It's okay. We're allowed to do that. Paulus with Fight the Good Fight. This is about coming into alignment and finding your truth. Let your intuition and wisdom guide you. Friendship. Okay, so this could be a friend. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Okay, this could be someone that's a friend that's in your life, or this could be someone that you love that's a friend that you want it to be something more, but it hasn't moved past that. Right? It's just letting go of those things that are holding us back. Love, yeah. So again, confirmation, this is love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. It's hard. It's hard when you love someone, but what if it's only a one-sided love? And what if we're just trying to convince ourselves that it's not because we don't want it to be one-sided? And that's where the challenge comes from. It's like we'll convince ourselves of anything to fulfill that want that our emotional ego says, we have to have this. We have to experience this. We'll do everything and anything. We'll believe anybody that tells us they feel the same way. But until those words come directly from that person, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And it's okay to not know. Only a fool thinks they know everything. We have artist here. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So it's time for you to create, to get back to creating. Shadow is using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to elicit pity. Okay, so right now they're saying it's time for you to get back to creating. Create your life. But can you let go of whatever it is that you're holding on to so that you can let something new come in? House 1. Yeah, this is all about coming back to yourself. Individuality, self-image, and your approach to life. Letting go of something you've identified with. You know, in this deck, House 1 talks about identity check. Check your identity, right? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like, that's just what it is. It's just reminding ourselves that it's okay to have those moments where we check in with ourselves. Am I really in alignment with everything? Or am I holding on to outdated beliefs? So let's take a look at this card. I am going to read this from the book. Let me grab the book real quick. This is the Pisces energy in this deck. Creation, dreamtime. This talks about the Aborigines and how they literally sang the world into existence through their didgeridoos. We have the artist coming out as well. So this is all about getting back to creation, to creating what it is that you want in your life. So whatever this is, it's kept you on hold from creating. It's literally taken up every ounce of energy that you've had. Okay, so it says, close your eyes and tune into your breathing. Allow yourself to sink deeply into the heart of the living creation that you are. As you notice your breath becoming steady and slightly deeper than usual, observe the urge within you that is begging to come forth in some creative action. Pay attention to any images, sounds, or feelings that beckon your awareness. And there, you will find the key as to the manner in which to express this magnificent pulse. Your breath is the crossover between spirit and physical reality. Breathing comfortably and steadily helps you align yourself with spirit, which then brings a clear focus on what creative expression is preparing to be birthed through and from you. Discard any habitual thought patterns that would prevent the manifestation of what you're being prompted to bring forth. Allow yourself to take risks with this self-expression, and all of creation will smile upon you. So the thing is here is like Source is asking you to come back to that place of inspiration for yourself. Because right now, whatever's going on, the situation that you've been involved in with this type of energy here, it has kept you from aligning with your truth. And when you turn your back on this and come back to self, you'll be able to start seeing manifestations roll in once again. Because you'll see that you are a creator. You don't have to hold on to these old belief patterns to believe that. And sometimes that's easier said than done. And so what they're trying to inspire you to do right now is just come back into things that make you feel like you're having a good time. Follow your bliss. That's the energy here, okay? So this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little emoji with the Z's next to it, the sleeping face, and say, I choose to follow my internal bliss and allow my dreams to come into fruition in this moment. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything that you need. With that, I would like to take this moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, stay human. Bye.